Man, I don't even know what the this is. Satánico Pandemonium is a 1975 Mexican nunsploitation film. It's directed by Gilberto Martínez Solares. I haven't heard of Martínez Solares, but apparently he was a prominent director in the golden age of Mexican cinema. From what I can gather, he mostly did like spoof films, comedy films, kind of like the Mexican Wong Jing, which I might get into trouble for saying. But he actually did a couple of the Santo films, which I've only seen one, but they're an interesting collection of films. Back in the day, there was a highly revered luchador named Santo who ended up starring in a bunch of genre films like Santo, the white masked luchador versus Dracula, or versus the female vampires, which is the one that I saw, or versus aliens and whatnot. It's an interesting series. This is a little bit past Martinez Solares' prime, and this is into an era of more sexual exploration, I guess, in cinema in general and in Mexico. The movie is about, I don't know, it's what every nunsploitation film is about. Either a nun is getting tortured or a nun is possessed by a demon. I don't know. We don't need to delve too deeply into the production or psychology of a film like this. I'm just interested to see what kind of weird sex stuff it has. So yeah, if that sounds appealing to you, let's watch Satánico Pandemonium. This was funded by the Tourism Board of Mexico? Excuse me? Glad to, as always, see different depictions of a country, filmed by those native to that country. You see Mexico as depicted in American war machine films. You expect to see arid deserts.
Buenos días, hermana.
Oh my gosh. It's the guy from Lawrence of Arabia. It's Zampano. Oh my gosh, it's Anthony Quinn. 20 years before Great Expectations. 20 years before Pride and Prejudice, we had a Mexican Fitzwilliam Darcy emerge from the lake.
Toma. Toma.
Yes, Anthony Quinn.
Guardia.
Make sure to cut off both the top and the bottom of his face in frame. It's a pretty extreme zoom. A more historically accurate fruit would be a fig. I wonder if they're actually exploring some sort of racial or class disparity in this by having the like dark-skinned nuns have to rest in the catacombs and serve the other nuns. If so, a bit forward-thinking for a nunsploitation film, exploring similar themes to The Headless Woman, actually.
Quisiera morirme escondida aquí del mundo.
No entiendo.
Gotta love that light source is coming from nowhere. That's some bush. That's some 70s bush. Second, I think, movie on this channel to feature self-flagellation. First is obviously Mother Joan of the Angels. Perhaps in cinema, most famously featured in La Dolce Vita? I don't know. If you know any other self-flagellation scenes, leave them down in the comments. This is the perfect mix. Topless nuns who keep the habit on. It's like a sexy superhero. Ooh. They made sure to get the perfect takes of that when they recorded it in the studio afterwards. She's kind of looking like Princess Leia, and he's kind of looking like rugged Han Solo. Oh no. Don't do it. Somebody stop me from sticking this apple up my vajayjay. She's not just watching her do this entire time, is there? That's just her empty habit. That's just her empty... Okay, so she was just... There was a person there.
Dios sea contigo, hermana. Hermana, la verdad es que...
La verdad es que...
Que te amo. Al conocer tus profundas virtudes, tu paz,
Just
tu
gets me
sosiego,
fucking horny.
me enamoré.
You've opened up the floodgates. I do love a weird slow kiss. Just making a meal out of them titties. Is that a man now? Yeah, that's a man's hands. I'm not having a good time.
Me llamo Lucifer.
But
Mephisto.
only if you want to.
Cuando tú me necesites, piensa en mí.
Just say my name. Would you like to live deliciously? Man, no resistance from her. She just fully lived in the moment. That's what religion's all about. Making you appreciate the moment.
Es imposible describir las caras de los réprobos, si bien es cierto que la de aquellos que pertenecen a una misma sociedad infernal son bastante parecidas. Muchos condenados, en vez de cara, tienen excrescencia peluda u ósea. De otros solo se ven los dientes.
This is an interesting
También
kind
los
of
cuerpos son
conceptualization of sin
monstruosos.
as something that is bodily, that is monstrous, that is visible. It kind of goes in contrast with our beloved heroine protagonist, who is so lily-faced and innocent, and the idea is that you're not able to spot a sinner, that everybody carries this tremendous toil, this tremendous burden. At least I don't know. It's a f***ing nunsploitation film. Who's to say if it f***ing cares about anything it's saying? There's Lucifer. Maybe it's gonna be Marcela?
Buenos días, Marcelo.
Buenos días, madre.
Do not have sex with this boy. Maria.
¿Ya tienes novia?
No, madre, se lo juro.
No tendría nada de malo. Pronto serás un hombre. Si no es que ya lo eres.
Okay, well... Now I know this isn't gonna get monetized.
Yo sí, hermana. Sabemos que tú conoces la ciencia médica. Estoy segura que me puedes curar.
There's nothing sinful about this. She's just into woman. What's the problem? Okay, well that's taking it too far. She is speedrunning the plot of Black Narcissus. Girl, that is not a sturdy knot. This bitch.
Buenas noches, madre. Qué honor de verla por esta humilde casa. ¿Cómo es que anda tan tarde sola?
Me han dicho que Marcelo está enfermo. Espero que no sea nada grave.
Do not try and
Vengo a
fuck
ver
this
qué se
boy
les
again.
ofrece.
Come
No,
on.
madre.
I'm not happy with this direction. I mean, I guess it's every Mexican boy's dream, Catholic boy's dream, to be ridden by a nun. But I'm just like a New England elite. I want a librarian. Nope. I'm upset. I'm upset. This boy, oh my god. It's a fucking sweet movie all over again. In a way, it's actually circuitously addressing an actual issue in the church that perhaps would not be tolerated in being addressed on the screen in a predominantly Catholic country at this time. Ooh, that's a nice gimmicked body he has. Okay, this is more what I wanted. As an American, I demand a better violence to sex ratio.
Dios nos tenga de su mano, hermana. Venimos por ti para dar cristiana sepultura al pastorcito Marcelo y a su abuelita.
No es posible. ¿Cómo fue?
No
Murieron en el
posible.
misterio. Parece que una chispa saltó a la madera cuando estaban durmiendo.
Unos aldeanos trajeron los cuerpos hasta aquí.
Una súplica, hermanas.
So it's actually interesting. In very roundabout ways, this is actually exploring some issues or controversies surrounding the church's treatment of minorities, of like black or
Así es,
non
hermana.
Caucasian appearing congregants or members. It's issues of kind of like sexual abuse in the church, and it's doing it in this nunsploitation way, where it's placing these at the like behest of a tortured nun. So it's like there's a degree of plausible deniability. Like, this isn't actually about the church. This is about one rogue agent, evil nun who's experiencing demonic possession or a lapse of faith. These aren't issues that are intrinsic to the church itself. Is she gonna have sex with the corpse? Okay, so that was Marcelo's burned and charred corpse, and they just used a black extra to show it, the body being charred. I was super confused by that, because I thought that might be Clemencia? Sister Clemencia? Because when they burned, Marcelo had taken her charm or her whatever away from her. I don't know what those are called. You know what would be a f***ing daring ending for this? If the convent ended up covering up her actions.
La Santa Inquisición juzgará tus pecados. Lo importante es que salves tu alma.
El demonio que habita en mí no está dentro de esas definiciones. Para mí no existe el infierno, sino que yo soy el infierno. Siempre te he odiado. Tu lugar me pertenece. Tú me lo robaste.
Way too many people be turning their backs on this lady. She's getting away scot-free with all of this. Arguably, if we're going along the themes of this exploring hypocrisies or controversies within the church, arguably, this would be kind of confronting issues of, like, politicking within the church, that people's positions or their rank isn't solely based on merit or religiosity, it's based on politicking. You see that? She can handle 120 pounds at a distance from her core, with her center of balance not upset at all.
Y a su abuelita.
Yeah, if she becomes the head of the convent, I think the movie is actually a little bit more intentional with its messaging than one might expect. Let's see. Let's gun for the Mother Superior ending. I mean, would they be able to get away with that even in 1975? They have to have good triumph, right? But because it's like a nunsploitation film, because it's like kind of a movie that nobody cares about, maybe they could get away with the evil ending. What is Catholicism, if not a manifestation of OCD?
Señor, si te he adorado por temor del infierno, quémame en el infierno. Y si te adoro por esperanza del paraíso, exclúyeme de él. Pero si te adoro por ti mismo, soy tu hija, Señor. Soy tu hija. No me niegues, por favor, tu imperecedera hermosura.
Yeah, I don't want to put words into the movie's mouth, but I mean, that would be an interesting kind of development or argument that the movie's making against a religiosity, against a religious devotion that's based out of fear and that's based out of reward, but instead something that's, I don't know, rooted in love. If perhaps this trial is indicating a type of faith that she had that was based out of fear, that was based out of control.
Tu Luzbel viene a rescatarte. Conmigo vas a ser la más feliz de las mujeres.
And she has to find a faith that's based out of liberation.
Vete y déjame en paz con mi agonía, maldito. Has hecho de mí el peor de los monstruos. ¡Vete!
Acéptame y te convertiré en la Madre Superiora.
Lo que quiero es morir en paz. ¡Vete, Lucifer!
Mira, hermana. Por el valle ya vienen subiendo las monjas para entregarte a la Inquisición. Traen la cruz del fuego. Tú ya sabes lo que eso significa. Allanada con un embudo. Y por allí correrá plomo derretido hasta llegar a tus entrañas. Tus carnes serán arrancadas en 1000 pedazos. Tus gritos serán escuchados.
Well, that's no good. Might as well be the Mother Superior then.
Tú ya viste morir a una monja así. ¿Recuerdas? ¿Recuerdas? ¿No quieres ser la Madre Superiora? Una mujer importante.
All I care about is loving God.
No sigas, maldito.
I don't care about torture. I don't care about reward. I just care about loving God. We're going for it. We're doing it. She's becoming Mother Superior. And so Satan has infiltrated the church. But only the women's church. Who cares about that? That has no broader implications to the structure of the church itself.
Hermana, por concilio hemos acordado solicitarte acepte ser nuestra Madre Superiora.
Tus virtudes honran a nuestra congregación. Acepta ser nuestra Madre Superiora.
Yes.
Sabemos que tras de ti,
Yes.
todos iremos a
Yeah.
la gloria.
Yeah. She's gonna end up in hell again. Dance! Wave to the people! Blow them kisses! I mean, you could go the Dr. Faustus route. She still has a chance to deny him, even after agreeing to all of his terms.
Mira, cumplo lo prometido, María. Ya no eres una simple monja. Ya eres la Madre Superiora. Madre y guía espiritual de todas estas. Anda, diviértete y goza. Te lo mereces.
Haha, they're sheep. That's awesome. Wake up, sheeple. And that's an interesting kind of like perversion of her initial characterization, that she had the love of animals and that she loved animals. And now she has the love of the people, and they've been reduced to a flock of sheep that follow her without question. And the next person is going to dream to be Mother Superior. Was this from her penance? No way they're gonna go back to that, are they? That would be crazy if it looped back around and said that all of these sins that she's committed, all this damnation, was her processing it through her penance, through the self-flagellation and through the thorns. They didn't go the Mother Superior route.
Se acabaron los sufrimientos de la hermana María. Que Dios la tenga en su santa gloria.
Qué pena haberla dejado sola encerrada tantos días para evitar el contagio de la peste.
Que terminó con su vida ejemplar.
Recemos una oración por el eterno descanso de su
Okay,
alma.
so it turned into a Jacob's Ladder at the end. Her wrestling with the salvation of her soul at the throes of death. I mean, she wanted to f*** that boy bad. Very interesting organ accompaniment. Which is to say, no organ being played at all. And the next victim sees the apple. Yeah, sometimes I'm a bit resistant. Ooh, Tagawa. One of them was actually Asian. Okay, that's cool. I had no idea. Sometimes I am resistant to how cyclical some of these narratives are, like what a closed loop they are, because I don't know. It gives up being like an opportunity to be profound in order to be like neat and clean and like smart. And being smart is a great virtue to have, but sometimes you can reach for something more. Okay, so it went the Jacob's Ladder route. I get that. I do get that. I mean, to a certain degree, that's what the Saragossa manuscript is. Although obviously it does it, and it was the same year as this as well. Obviously, it explores it in far more detail and fascination and insight and depth. And the Saragossa manuscript is very, very, very large film. So yeah, I think the narrative manages to express like the individual feelings of doubt and of faith and of temptation through the lens of this character and through her, I guess, proximity to death. But I don't know. I do, maybe I'm just clinging too strongly to the idea, but I do think that there's something to the film exploring some of the darker aspects of the institution of the church as an institution without ever explicitly coming out and saying that the church itself is the one that's performing these actions, by putting it within the context of this nun, by putting it within the context of her like fever dreams at the precipice of death. The movie is able to create these hypothetical scenarios of members of the church, people in a position of power, performing these atrocities within the church and escaping justice. Perhaps receiving spiritual justice, but not like in the real world justice, and is able to walk back from ever saying it too literally. I think this is a more interesting film than I gave it credence for. It's kind of simplistic. It's not like a mind-blowing film in any way whatsoever, but I do think it has a little bit more to say than it lets on. Yeah, I mean, from a nunsploitation aspect, I can see like comparisons that could be made to like The Devil's, literally any nunsploitation film exploring the kind of like withheld desires of inhibited or repressed Christians. I think that's in all like nunsploitation films or films about Catholicism or films about like religious figures. I don't really think that's like something special that's being explored. So yeah, I'm going to cling to the condemnations or the criticisms of the church reading for this one. Yeah, that was Satanic Pandemonium. Perhaps not as pandemonious as I was expecting it to be, but still an interesting little entry. A little bit more philic than I was expecting it to be. Yeah. I don't know where you would check this out, but if you're interested, go check it out. Let me know if you have any other, I don't know, nunsploitation or religious anxiety films you want me to check out. I haven't published it, but I did Winterlight a while ago, so don't suggest Winterlight. And in the meantime, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe for more old, obscure, and art house films. And until next time, keep watching good movies.